Why, hello there, friends, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new around these parts, heller, thank you so much for clicking. In today's video, I'm doing a memory plan with me for the week of March 6th. We're finally fully into March. Although, to be honest with you, y'all, I'm really not behind. I feel like I'm really not behind. I feel like I'm just in the exact place I want to be. So I'm going to ride the wave as long as possible because I highly doubt that this will be a thing all the time. I'm so sorry if you guys hear that helicopter that's flying above me at the moment. I'm actually outside, which I know makes for some ambient noises, but I desperately needed some fresh air, and we have like decent weather today. We're getting there, man. We're getting into the spring temps. It is like 55 here. For those who don't know, I live in Mass, and that's amazing. After the winter, that feels like the best thing ever, honestly. So people are out and about, and I'm one of them. I want to be in the fresh air. So anyways, for this week, I am using the theater kit. I actually kind of mixed the Caress Press and SPC theater kit. This art is Jess art. Of course, it is beautiful, and I used it because I went to see Hamilton this week. I saw it here near me with the touring company. I didn't go to like New York City and see it on Broadway, although that would have been lovely. Maybe one day, but we didn't quite get there this time, so I had to enjoy it on tour instead. But it was really good. I've talked about this before. It's really hard for me to not compare every other cast to the original cast. Like, it's really hard for me, and that original cast is just such gold that it's just unfair. It's unfair that I need to compare the touring company to the original cast. So I still really enjoyed myself, and I found it so hard to not sing at the top of my lungs and dance next to this dude who I feel like probably was dragged there by his partner, girlfriend, wife, I think, and probably was not as into it as I was. But I was like, oh man, I was living. It was so hard to contain myself, but you know, it's Broadway. It's not a concert, although I did see like a random Facebook ad about a Hamilton like concert, and like I need to go. So next time that pops up, I'm gonna have to really look into that. But anyways, I'm using the theater kit from SPC and Caress Press. I did mix them up a bit. I mostly use Caress Press, but SPC did have the Hamilton playbill in her kit, so I just had to pick it up because it was just too perfect. The underlays that I'm using are from Kristan's Planner. They're the theater mask underlays, and I love them. When I saw them, I was like, these are so perfect for this spread. I'm just quickly becoming a fave. Kristan's Planner is quickly becoming a fave in regards to foil shops. So I love these. These would also be great, shameless plug, to pick up if you are planning to or already purchased the In the Heights kit from me. Just saying. It would go really great with these underlays too. So you might want to look into that if you want to lean more into like the theater musical aspect of it. I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be using with that kit, but I'll keep y'all posted. And if you pick up the baseball kit, she also does have some baseball underlays. I think she has a washi overlay, and then she has some customized quote box overlays that you can customize to your favorite team, which I really love. So just saying, some shameless plugging. Okay, back to our regularly scheduled program. I also used some foiled overlays from Plannahannah. It was some quotes, some Hamilton quotes specifically. So you'll see those peppered in to the spread as well. And then I think that's it. Obviously, I am using silver foil. I don't think I mentioned it, but it's probably very evident that I am using silver foil for this spread. I went back and forth on silver and gold a lot. I almost went with gold for this spread just because of like the gold color of like the Hamilton like imagery, like the I don't know that the logo's the right thing. The emblem, I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The star. I went with gold. I almost went with gold, but I didn't like that there were different shades of gold because I was using gold from different shops, and there was hot gold and a lighter gold, and I didn't really love that. So I ended up doing silver just to be safe. And I really do love, obsessed with how this spread turned out. It is stunting. We used some extenders, as you can see. It was a good stankin' time over here. Yeah, I think that's it for what I used. This week was interesting, to say the least. There's going to be lots of story time because I'm not even sure how to shorten a lot of this story. So just grab a snack, maybe grab a beverage, and chill out because you might be here for a second. But essentially, so this week that I'm planning for is usually our spring break. Some context, if you don't know, I work at a college. We get spring break. There you go. This week historically is usually around when our spring break is. I'm sorry, my nose is so itchy, y'all. We're back. Of course, this year it wasn't. It actually is the week I'm currently living. So I'm doing this voiceover on March 18th, Saturday, March 18th. And this week, well, our spring break is now concluding, which is very sad because we get to work remotely during spring break, which is so amazing. So I've been thoroughly enjoying that this week. But of course that would happen because it just so happens that my train line was down the week that I'm planning for, the week of March 6th, which typically is our spring break week. So had it been down that week and we had spring break like we normally do, I would have been home and I wouldn't have had to deal with the madness. But was that the case? No. The only year that we don't have it on this week, the line decides to be down. So anyways, my train line was down. For those who don't know, I commute to work every day on public transit. I take a train. And it takes forever for me to get to work, and it takes forever for me to get home. So probably about an hour and a half door to door, for those who don't know. Yeah, it's a journey. And now with my train line being down, basically what they're doing is busing people. You can imagine peak rush hour with a bus, not as fast as a train going 60 miles an hour or whatever. So either I was going to do that, which I wasn't doing. Like, I was not about to bus in. Or I was like, all right, let me just hop on a different train line in like the closest town to me that has a like operating train line. So that's what I did. That added 30 minutes to my commute. So now it was a 2-hour commute, y'all, each way this entire week for work. Y'all, I'm not made for this. I'm actually not made for this. Like, I'm really not made for this. So there was that. And of course, like I said, typically this week is our spring break week, and it wasn't. And I was like, of all the years for the train line to be down this week, they chose the year that I don't have spring break this week. Nice. Anyways. So that was the first kind of strange thing that happened this week. And then, as y'all know, I went to see Hamilton this week. And let's just talk a little bit about how that came to be. So the original plan was I was going to go to a conference for work that was really close to work. Like, that's the only reason it even became a thing. Like, we found out it was going to be very close to work. And so my boss was pretty open to us going to it. So I was like, great. So I think what I'm going to do, because it was the same day basically as Hamilton, it was like the end of this week. So that Thursday, Friday, I think it might have gone into Saturday, but basically Thursday, Friday. So I was like, okay, I'll just, I'll stay overnight closer to work and the conference, and then also closer to where the show's going to be for Hamilton, because it's also near work. So I was like, this is perfect. Everything was in I don't know, probably like a 5-minute walk radius. It was not very far at all. So I was like, this is good. I'll make it a little fun kind of mini getaway, even though technically I'm working. I was like, still, it'll be a nice little getaway, treat myself. I was like, this is going to be fun. And I'll have the show. It's going to be a thing. So day comes. Well, actually, no. Before we get to the day of the show, which I went to see Hamilton on the 9th, which was also conference day. I go to register for said conference and they're like, oh yeah, sorry, you're on the wait list because we're at capacity. And I'm like, again with the wait list, folks. Like, I've had a wait list experience recently and I'm still reeling from it. So I really would like a break from all the wait lists currently. So they were like, we'll let you know, like, if someone cancels or a spot opens up or whatever. So probably like 3 or 4 days before the actual conference started, I got an email saying, yeah, we're at capacity, so we can't let you in. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I was like, all right, I'm still going to keep my little hotel mini getaway vibe because I'm still going to go see Hamilton. Like, I'm going to see the show. So it'll still work out because I'm going to get out of there late, and then like scheduling with the trains. Plus I had the line that was down. Like, it just made more sense for me to stay in town and just go home the next day. So, y'all. So I booked my hotel. Thursday the 9th arrives, right? And I'm ready. I go to work. I decided to just do a full work day because I'm going to be there anyway. Everything is there. So there's no point in me taking the day off just to be in the area anyway. Like, wasting a day off on that. Not to mention, it's not super busy at this point because it's before like peak busy time for us, which will start this week. It's okay. We're breathing through in and out real slowly. It's all good. So day comes. Sorry, y'all, for noises, ambient noises. I'm outside. I'm so sorry. If you hear wild things, it's pretty quiet where I am, but still. So day of the show comes and I get through the work day and I'm like, all right, let's go check into this hotel. So I've never been to this hotel. I go in, it's nice looking. It's kind of got like a hippie kind of old school retro kind of vibe. Like, it's heavily themed. I'm like, okay, cool. So I get into the elevator. Bomb music in the elevator, by the way. Like, I'm loving the music in the elevator. That was the highlight of this hotel. Now, I love me some music, but the highlight of a hotel should not be the music in the elevator. But it was good music. It was like your like early 2000s vibes. Like, they were playing TLC, no scrubs. I was jamming. I was living my best life. So I'm like, okay, this is nice. This is cool. So I get to my floor and like, I don't really love the doors. They kind of remind me of like ironclad doors, which is not really the vibe I want to feel when I'm in a hotel. But I'm like, okay, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? So I'm like, that's fine. So I get into this room, get to my room, get in. Still very like retro hippie kind of vibe. So I'm carrying a bunch of shit. I got like my backpack, I got bags because I had picked up some food, and like usually like there's like a desk in a hotel room or like a table or something, even a nightstand that you can put your shit down on, right? Yeah. No, this wasn't the case. So they had a table, but it was a foldable table that was hanging from a wooden hook underneath the TV, which also there was no like TV stand. Like, the TV was mounted, which is fine, but like there was just literally nothing that I could put it on. So I'm like, okay, here we go. So I'm like, whatever. So I just put my stuff on the floor because what else am I going to do? And I'm trying to like unfold this foldable like table. It was like a small round table. It was nothing crazy, but it was like wood, like real wood. So it was heavy. So here I am and I'm like, okay, like I get it. I get the vibe you're going for, but can I just have an open table where I can put my stuff down? Like, that's all I need. Like an open table, a small desk. I don't even care how big it is. I just need something where I can put my stuff down. So I'm already annoyed. So I just give up on the table. I leave it hanging there because I just can't. They have a foldable table and 2 foldable chairs in there. Like, what even is this? What even is this? But okay. So then I'm like, luckily it's clean. That's one thing I can say. It was a clean room, which is probably the top of the top for me. It was a clean room, so that was fine. So I'm looking around and I see like the nightstand, and like normally one's nightstand is pretty level with like the height of the bed, right? Maybe it's a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but it's pretty level. This was not. This was significantly lower than the bed. And I'm like, bruh. I'm like, where am I staying right now? Like, where am I staying right now? And then they had like an old school phone on the nightstand. It was like old school. Like, I'm talking about landline, like dial, like circle dial, like you put your finger in. Yeah, like some of you are like, what? I don't know what, I've never heard of that in my life. Yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like I'm describing to you. And then, y'all, the best part. I notice that there are earplugs next to this phone. And I'm like, I have never been to a hotel where they have left earplugs on the nightstand. And I'm like, okay, well, there's earplugs on the nightstand. I'm like, okay, this is going to be interesting. And then they have like this little like not pamphlet, but like, what do you like those like hotel information, like basic info cards where they have like how to contact the front desk, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at that and I see that they say, oh, if you're having a hard time sleeping, like call us. And I'm like, call the front desk. And I'm like, what? So I'm sitting here like contemplating whether or not I should continue to stay in this hotel. Because I'm like, what is even really, like, what is happening right now? What is happening right now? So I'm thinking I already paid for my Hamilton ticket. So like, I don't want that to go to waste. So I was like contemplating, like, do I leave like during intermission so that I can catch a train? Because if I wait for the show to be over, like it's unlikely that I'd be able to catch a train back home. So I'm like, well, maybe I should just leave during intermission. So I was throwing around ideas of like what to do because I was getting not great vibes from this place. And then I was like, all right, you're just going to have to like stay. You're going to have to commit because you don't want to leave early. And I was also starting to feel like really anxious for some reason, which I don't. Like, I definitely can get anxious, but not about staying at a hotel. I don't know why. My anxiety was, like, tweaked. So I'm like, all right, we're going to stay. We're going to commit. So I get, like, kind of chill. I eat. And then I start to get ready once it's time to go to the show. So I get to the show. I'm seated. I have a perfect seat near an exit on the aisle, which is exactly why I chose it, because it's perfect. If I need to leave, I can leave. And then I don't have people on either side of me too. So, get through the show. I have like zero service there, which of course I'm not like texting or calling anyone during the show, but I did want to like text my boyfriend and text my mom and stuff just to make sure they knew that I was like good, but zero service. So whatever. So get through the show. Oh, let's talk about the show real quick before we get into the rest of this night. The show was good. I loved Marquis de Lafayette. The actor that played him was amazing. And I think Angelica was amazing. The actress that played her, I definitely don't know their names. I'm not even going to try. They were probably my two faves, I think, which is so funny because when I think of Marquis de Lafayette, like Daveed Diggs bodies that role, but actually the actor did really well. If I can find his name, which I think I still have the Hamilton program from the day I went to the show, I'll pop it in a caption here so you guys can see it, because he should be recognized. He was amazing, and so was Angelica. I think they were both really, really great. But anyways, so show was good. Had a good time trying to restrain myself from singing at the top of my lungs and jamming and rapping. It was a good time though. So I leave, I stop by and just I stopped at like a pizza place and grabbed myself like a Gatorade and some water just for the night. And I get back to my room, y'all. Everything's all dandy the way I left it. Everything's fine. I'm getting cozy. I'm getting into bed. And I usually just scroll on my phone and like watch YouTube. So I get my AirPods, scrolling, watching YouTube, blah, blah, blah. And then I hear like what sounds like someone screaming. And I'm like, is someone getting murdered in this hotel? Like, what? Dear Lord, what is happening right now? So I paused my video. I don't even remember what I was watching. And it stops. So I'm like, I know no one's screaming in this video that I'm watching. It was probably like a Plan With Me or a Sticker Haul or something that I was watching on YouTube. So I'm like, no one's screaming in this video. But then I was like, well, ambient noises. But I'm like, no one's screaming in this video. So then I press play and the screaming happens again. So here I am thinking I'm losing my damn mind at this point. Like, it's finally happened, Anna. Like, you've cracked. It's done. I stop it again. The screaming stops. I'm like, okay, we're just gonna, so I take out my AirPods and I'm like, we're just gonna sit here for like 5 minutes to see if I actually am losing my mind or if I need to run for my life. So I take out my AirPods, stop the video, and I just wait. And then I hear it again. And I'm like, oh my God. Y'all, when I tell you that this girl that was screaming was having the best time of her damn life. For context, I'm talking like Beyonce Rocket best time of her life. I'm talking about like Beyonce Cuff It best time of her life. I'm talking about Virgo's Groove. Yeah. Yeah. She was having a great time, y'all. Great. So of course, in hindsight, I'm like cracking up because only me. But at the time, I was like, because I was so exhausted, y'all. Like, I had just worked a full day. And although I love the Hamilton show, it's like a 3-hour show. Like, I was done. I was fried. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get any sleep. So this went on, I would say on and off for a bit. And I was convinced that I just wasn't going to get any sleep. So I put on my AirPods, zoned it out as much as I could. Obviously, there were earplugs on the nightstand for a damn reason. And of course, I can freaking call the front desk, right? But, yo, I cannot. I didn't do any of that. I just decided to zone it out. I just went on YouTube and just zoned out, y'all. I tried to zone out as much as possible. And you know what the most hilarious part of all of this is? I slept like a baby that night. Like a baby. I slept so well. I woke up the next morning at like 8 a.m. and I've been going through like all sorts of sleep things where just sleep is not wanting to visit me at night when it should. It's just like, nope, you're on a timeout. So I thought for sure, I was like, well, I'm definitely going to be up tonight. I thought that night, and ended up sleeping great. Actually, I could have stayed there and slept through like really slept in. If I didn't have to check out, I probably would have really slept in that day. So all's well that ends well, I guess. I will never be staying there again, for context, because I'm just like, what even is this? So I asked myself, because it was a hotel in the city, were the earplugs there? Because it's a hotel in the city, and like the city is loud, like the city is noisy. It's just how it is. Traffic, people honking for no reason. Can we discuss that for a minute? Like, people honking, like in the history of life, has it really ever helped when you're in like a standstill trap? It really hasn't, right? It's just like, I get like, let me rephrase. I understand like honking if someone is not moving at a red light and they're clearly distracted, like fine, whatever. But y'all know what I mean. I'm talking about city honking, where I swear they just honk to freaking honk. Anyways, the moral of the story is we will not be staying at that hotel again. Hamilton was great, and I absolutely adore the spread. So I hope you guys enjoyed the story time and the video. Let me know down below in the comments if you did. And leave me... I'll drop an emoji here somewhere. Something that has to do with something in the story. You can leave me that emoji. At this point, it should probably be the eggplant emoji. Let's just be for real. Anyways. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all real soon. Bye.